trust God or are you going to trust him?
Hold up. Hey, bro, this is crazy because I forgot that was the whole thing that's on there. Come on, man. What you doing, man? C Students Podcast, comedian André Mulligan, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I want to go to the topic because this is something that I had an interview this morning with big homie Willie Mack. So y'all need to tune in to episode 44 of episode 44 of C Students Podcast this morning with Willie Mack, where we kind of discuss the booking, the lifestyle, and what's going on when it comes to Black comics and the image of what they have to portray and what they have to do. So I posted this question online, and basically what the question said is, I asked this question after my interview today. It's a very simple question. I said, why do comedy bookers not book? Now, some comedy bookers, and that's what I said, why do some comedy bookers not book Black talent? And then when they do, it's your slapstick white comics. Why aren't those Def Comic Jams, those Comic View comics, why are those comics not given an outlet? I'm here in LA. I do clean comedy. I work every club. I go to every club. I go everywhere. I like that. But I have my friends who go to places when the regular, no pandemic, that do Comedy Union. They do the J Spot. They do the Black Circuit, and they don't get booked in the white clubs unless it's a Black event only. But when you see these regular white lineups, they have regular white women, they have regular white guys, they have transgender, they have gay and lesbian. But when they do have Black comics, they don't have them in their own form. They have them, if y'all remember Richard Pryor when he first started with the Ed Sullivan Show, Richard was doing an impression of Bill Cosby. A lot of people didn't know that. So Richard Pryor used to do this impression of Bill Cosby where he felt that's what they wanted to see. And Richard one day did, I think he went to, San Bernardino, California somewhere, and he did a show. And he was like, man, he didn't do good the first night. And then the second night, he was like, son, I'm about to give him who I am. So Richard Pryor went up there and he started, boom, being himself. And what I mean by being yourself is like everyone know, as the Black people, we know, we have our own organic, natural everything. And when we laugh amongst our family and we laugh amongst our moms or dads or cousins, stuff like that, that is the funny side. And most people would say that. And most people would say, if you remember Top 5, and y'all remember going back to Top 5, one of the things with Top 5, what they talked about with Chris Rock, they said, you're not being you no more. You're being white. You're not being Chris Rock. So this in the movie Top 5, he said he was much funnier this way. He was much funnier this way. And a lot of people would say Chris Rock hasn't been funny since Bigger and Blacker. Some people would say, nah, this is more a lipstick white comic. But that is a small but big question within the comic scene, the comedy community. And if y'all can sit there and argue and say, why is it Oscar so white? Why is it that Black movies are not getting the recognition that they should? And it's not saying that they don't sometimes get it. It's saying that why is it that they're excluded most of the time? When you look at things like What's Love Got to Do with It? If anybody watched the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, you had Angela Bassett and you had Lawrence Fishburne, who did amazing. They did amazing jobs. They were not nominated for Oscars. They were not put there. They were not given that opportunity. But yeah, when you look right now at the Black media, not Black media, but Black actors, most of those actors are European or British Black actors. So they're excluding your regular common Black actors and bringing over your more whitewashed white Black actors. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Why do they have to play to the gimmick in order to get booked? Why do they have to do this in order to get booked? If you do not understand the question, simply ask me the question. Don't jump out and start attacking me and acting like I'm trying to pick up. What I'm asking you to do is look at the ball and look at the globe and say, hey, are everybody doing fair? Are everybody doing this? They not. They are not. It is hard that you see a lot of these Black comics out here that aren't their self because they got to get stage time. And they way funnier in their own form, but they got to get up there and they got to be, hey, how you doing? I do this, which is different than say, hey, man, I do this. This is what I do, whoop de whoop. I respect that. I understand that. And that's what the post had to deal with. And why, what's up, bro? What's up, André Smith? And that's really what it has to do with. I want people to understand that I am a social media plug. I am a big company. I'm going to be huge. And these are questions and topics that you have to ask. And I'm going to ask. And, y'all can argue, say whatever. But I am stuck and solid on my points of views. I am. I always listen to every side. But if you do not listen or you do not read the questioning, if you do not read, so there's a prime example. There's a girl, if y'all want to go look at the post I posted on my page, this girl is going off on me. What are you talking about? What are you talking? I'm like, man. And I'm sitting up here looking like this girl is just an idiot. She is so stupid. She does not understand the question at hand. The question at hand is, why do some goddamn bookers, not book those black comics? Why are they excluding out those black comics? Why is it that Tiffany Haddish is not the Tiffany that first started? Why is she more whitewashed? Why is it that Kevin Hart isn't the funny that y'all saying he's supposed to be? He's more whitewashed. Kevin Hart, Laugh at My Pain, that is never going to, you're not going to see that. And then what happened is, what Kevin Hart tried to do is he tried to go back and go backwards and say, not giving a fuck, no fucks given, and he bombed. Black people was like, we don't like it, and white people was like, oh God, we love it. So what I mean is, black people are getting famous, but disconnecting themselves from their actual black roots and who they are and their culture and their identity. Look, man, I know tons of class that grew up in Arizona, grew up in San Diego. They're cool as hell. And they up there in their rare, regular form. It's not about them. I'm talking about those guys who are pretending. And I'm saying to the bookers, why aren't you giving everyone a fresh shot at your show? What are you looking for? And this is just an open forum. This is not about me. This is an open forum. I'm going to always create my own fucking lane. So if I get booked, I get booked. If I don't get booked, I don't get fucking booked. There's a million other comedy clubs out here. There's a million other places out here. If a nigga single himself to one place, that's your goddamn fault, bro. That is your fault, man. This is the internet. This is the media, man. I'm good. I ain't tripping. I would never trip off you motherfuckers saying anything bad, whatever y'all want to. There's nothing I'm saying that should be a problem. What is basically asking you is open up the question, open up the format, open up the board and say, hey, yo, why is people not getting fair treatment? Why isn't people being treated the right way? Why ain't people getting the respect? You know what I'm saying? So I want to know this. And this is a solid and valuable time for people to really understand that if y'all out there marching for Black Lives Matter and all that, oh, we out here marching for Black Lives Matter, you got to also look at the entertainment system. You also got to look at the educational system. You got to look at those things. Is why are these people not getting this? Hey, you know something? Hell yeah. There's girls that I just watched a girl get $1 million worth of scholarships to all HBCUs, but she didn't get any from Berkeley. She didn't get any from Stanford. She didn't get anything from Harvard. She didn't get anything from USC or anything from Duke or anything like that. It was all black colleges that gave, but none of the white schools gave her a thing at all. And this girl was a 4.0 student, and she applied to 30 colleges. And of those 30 colleges, 25 of them were black colleges. And of those other 5, the 5 were regular white schools that did not give her a chance. But this girl is a 4.3 GPA, 32 on an ACT, and she wasn't even given a scholarship to regular white university. So when we talk about demographics, when we talk about those things, we have to put this into context. What Black Lives Matter deals with is all black lives, not just one black life, not just that. If y'all booking black comics, what is the degree of the black comics that y'all booking? Because are you talking about your George Wallace black comic? Are you talking about your Mike Epps black comic? Those are 2 different black comics. Your Eddie Griffin black comic and your like a new Negro kind of comic. Those are two different kind of comics. It's a style and it's a thing. What is opportunity should be given to any person. Doesn't matter color, it doesn't matter sex, it doesn't matter gender. It's saying it should be not excluded to anybody. But the point is they do that. They're going to continue to do that. So we definitely got to speak up. Why is it that we can't speak up about gay, transgender, and other comics not getting booked? But as soon as a person says black comics, people get upset. People get totally upset. That I don't even see the understanding in that. So you book gay comics. So you book transgender comics. Where are your actual black comics at? And I'm not talking about your snap. Hey, what's up, guy? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about your snap funny black comics. I'm talking about where are your solid, hardcore, deaf comedy, comic view, grimy, chocolate Sundays, Mo Better Mondays, D. Ray Davis, Eddie Griffin. Where are those comics at in the regular scene? Y'all are not giving them a voice in the white clubs. And that's the problem. The problem is those Eddie Griffins, those Bernie Macs, those Jamie Foxx. Well, Jamie Foxx might. No, Jamie Foxx. Those guys aren't getting the opportunity in the black clubs. You're going for the Steve Harvey kind of comics. You're going for those comics that make you feel more comfortable. So I put up a video of Richard Pryor, and people are like, huh, what are you talking about? There was Richard Pryor on the Ed Sullivan Show, and there was Richard Pryor after the Ed Sullivan Show. Those are two total different guys. And if you know Richard Pryor, if you understand the game, if you understand what he did, if you are an artist and you are a true comedian, you know what Richard Pryor went through. And you know the fact that Richard Pryor first started as a white black comic. He started out doing, hey, so my mom, I have a mother. Everyone has. My mom beats me. We look at that shit like, nigga, that ain't Richard Pryor. And then we see Richard Pryor. Man, my mom used to beat my ass. She used to whoop me. That is Richard Pryor. So it's a difference between Richard Pryor and then the Richard that everybody knows. Because the Richard Pryor on the Ed Sullivan Show, nobody really fucking thought was funny like that. White people thought he was funny. The Richard Pryor, the JoJo dancer, the live on comic strip, that Richard Pryor is what everybody loved. You see the difference? The Ed Sullivan Richard Pryor excluded black people out because black people's like, nigga, we don't act like that. That's not my mother. We don't, nigga, that's my mom. That's my mama. That's my mom. That's my mom. I have a mother. No black guys. I have a mother. Man, I have a mom. That's my mother, not my mom. My mother, not mom. That is the point. So I want people to understand that, man, it's not picking. I am a radio channel. I am very serious. I am a network. So you're not gonna come on and act like y'all don't understand the goddamn question, and we will be okay. But I still want to put this out there, and I want people to understand that these questions are always going to come up on C-Students. These are always going to be a thing that's come up on C-Students because I want you to understand that the next topic is going to be about my gay comedians and why they don't get certain outlets and why they're not accepted in certain rooms. So I'm bringing everybody on here. I don't give a shit what your gender, sex, race, color, whatever you are. I'm always bringing people. I'm always bringing people on my show and letting them know it's true. People that deserve it don't get it. Yeah, and Dre, hey, bro, the sad part about it, man, is that I've been there. I started at a company. I started with a club out in like Burbank where I felt I couldn't be the man I was because when I were like, if I said anything that sounded black, they'd be like, no, don't say that. And they'll send me an email. Hey, you can't say this. Hey, you can't say that. Hey, you can't say this. And then I was looking at it, I was like, dude, that ain't me. I remember my brother telling me, I did Santa Monica Pier. I used to do Santa Monica Pier for a year, and I did it for 8 hours a day. And I remember this homeless dude coming in. It's like, hey, man, real talk, Andre, you one of the funniest fucking people I ever saw in my life. But that 10% is terrible. You got to fix that 10%. That's what I've been working on is my 10%. But I had to go out there to remember where I came from. I'm a black dude from Louisville, Kentucky, bro. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I don't do all this other bullshit, man. We have a swag. We have, like, if you from a Midwest, if you from the South, we have that. We have a swag. We have a tone. We have the, but also brothers everywhere around are like that. That's the difference. In Kentucky, I can be myself. Y'all out in California, man. Y'all live in different places. Some of those people won't let y'all be that way. Some of y'all won't let y'all talk and act the way y'all want to. They feel that you're aggressive. They feel that you're violent. They feel that they always angry black man, this and this. Why we always angry? Why we always got to be this? We don't hurt angry woman. This is the first time in life that white women are being called out for what they doing. Calling them Karens. And they offended over that? Y'all offended over people calling when y'all use the term ghetto all the time? Are they acting black? See, when you talk about the term black to them mean negative. Ghetto. It means negative. Ghetto. You're acting this way. You're acting this way. You hear white women say it all the time. I went to this nail shop. It was so ghetto, bitch. That's saying nigga. That's like saying nigga. Don't say ghetto. Don't say black. But you know something, when you tell a white woman that, or when you tell a white person that, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know. You knew that the word ghetto is the same as saying nigga. When you say those words, you know. But people will always act and pretend like they are obsolete to the truth. They don't want to believe the factors. I will take it very easy for a white woman to jump on her and say, it's easy for me. It is so fucking easy for a white woman to do it. That's the reason why the white woman has been on the page arguing about why do some bookers not book black comics. How fucking stupid can you be to not understand the word why some bookers don't book black talent? You're upset over why some. And then the first thing she jumped on her is like, I book black people. Who I dare you. You're not funny. I'm like, did you read the fucking question, white lady? And then we had another lady jump on it, and a few people asked me, and I'll repeat this. Somebody asked me, what is white black comic? Pull up Richard Pryor, Ed Sullivan Show, and that is a white black comic. And then pull up Richard Pryor, 1987, Richard Pryor, and look at Richard Pryor. Look at the Richard Pryor that was working the Comedy Store. Look at the Richard Pryor that you saw on motherfucking Harlem Nights. The one you saw on JoJo Dancer. The one you saw on Comic Strip Live. Saturday live on Comic Strip. Live on Sunset. Go look at that Richard Pryor, and then go back and look at the other Richard Pryor and see which one you resemble and which one you're comfortable with, or the one that you understand and know. That's the difference, man. And that's what y'all forget, that when y'all disconnect black people from themselves in order for them to come into your comedy club, you're taking out a whole genre of people that want to support your comedy club. If you want to book everybody. Book a flavor. I hate being on shows where y'all got all the same kind of people and then I'm the only one that's different. Sometimes you hear the same jokes, the same premise, the same kind of delivery, and you be like, how these motherfuckers get booked? Why? Why they get booked? Because they smoke weed with these people, they chew powder with these people, they drink with these people. They not fucking funny. A lot of them cats ain't funny. A lot of them cats ain't out here dropping jokes and doing that. A lot of y'all don't have 3 solid comedy minutes. I mean solid comedy minutes. I ain't talking about with fluff. I ain't talking about the stage. I ain't talking about the audience. I ain't talking about, oh, look at the weather. I'm talking about do your motherfucking stand up. And a lot of y'all don't have that. Y'all have fluff. Y'all have buffers. And y'all have and y'all have cuss words. So the women that's sitting up there talking about, hey, you're not funny, or you're not this. I guarantee you, if you listen to her comedy set, I guarantee you, and I will put any amount of money on this, and I'll bet you $200 right now. If she don't got a comedy set talking about her ass and pussy and this, I would gladly say she's a liar. She's a liar. And that's what it's about. If you funny, it should be about funny. But when they say bookers do this, We don't do sex. We don't do movement. We don't want you doing any gyrating. We don't want you making anything sexual. Why do they do that? Why do bookers say, hey, don't do anything sexual to people? We don't want y'all making any jokes about sexuality or any things about that, and don't be moving and doing this, try to stay in the middle. I know people that have told me openly that they couldn't move on stage, that the booker was like, hey, don't talk about this, don't do this. And then you'll have your white comics, you'll have your gay comics, you'll have your transgender comics, you'll have those comics go up there, cuss, talk about this, talk about that, talk about that. But yet alone, they got black comics to say the same shit that these white, transgender, and gay comics do, but they don't get the opportunity. They don't get the opportunity. If you're going to book, just book. It shouldn't be about color. It should be funny. I say this is what you do. Everybody auditions should be behind a black curtain, and you sit out there and say what it is. But you know what people will do? They still will try to talk white, because most of the time, the person across is white. So if y'all don't understand this, if it makes it harder for you, when you look at the percentage of black people that are out of work, when you look at unemployment, when you look at things like that, and you say, hey, why is there so many educated black people out here that's not with jobs? You say, okay, well, there's white people out here who are not with jobs. Yeah, cool. But I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. And you know something, what I see in Louisville, Kentucky? I see black construction workers. Why is there there's maybe 4, I may say 3 or 4 black construction workers in the whole fucking LA and in California County. There's not any. So when you look at things like that, look at this. How many black bookers are in white clubs? How many black bookers are in white clubs? Not owners. We're not talking about owners. I'm talking about black bookers in white comedy clubs. Please put that out there. And I want to talk about Southern California. I ain't talking about black comedy clubs. I'm talking about how many white comedy clubs you know that has black bookers. Someone that identifies with black people. You don't have that. You really don't have that, and they're not going to say that. And a lot of people act like, oh, well, that's a problem. That's not a problem. It is a problem. It is a problem when you don't understand half the people jokes that come through here. You only understand white comedy. That's why Richard Pryor pretending to be white to get on the Ed Sullivan show. He was doing Bill Cosby. He was a replica of Bill Cosby. And then they was like, nigga, you not funny. That ain't you. That ain't you, Richard. Do you, Richard? And then Richard Pryor was like, man, fuck this. I'm about to get up there and I'm going to talk. It's not about cussing, yo. It's not about cussing. It's not about saying the N-word. It's not about saying any of that. What I'm saying is about being yourself. Y'all don't allow black comedians to be themselves, be who they are, be in their old regular form, and still be able to touch your stage. And it's not, like I said, I'm not going to say this shit again. I am a clean black comic. And it's not, this is not about me. This is about all black comedians that feel that they're not getting the opportunity because they have a style that's unorthodox, which is unorthodox to the white comedy clubs. So if you don't understand this, the reason why Def Comedy Jam and Comic View was created is because white comedy clubs were not booking that kind of black talent. The reason why you have places like the Comedy Union, the places like the J Spot, is that you had to open up a club for those people. Those people. How can you exclude a whole fucking race of people from your club? But you're the biggest comedy club. You are big comedy clubs, and you are excluding those people from your. You shouldn't have to be a black booker to book black talent. You should not have to be that. And when I'm talking about black talent, I'm talking about true, real fucking black talent. I ain't talking about your lipstick. I ain't talking about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey can play any room but a fucking black room because they don't take him no more because he doesn't identify with them. I'm talking about Bernie Mac. I'm talking about cats like that that didn't get passed at a lot of comedy clubs. I'm talking about those cats. Not Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle started out as a black white comedian. I mean, a white black comedian. He started out with the Comedy Strip Live. He started out with Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Crystal, and the comedy that he had to do was in order to get him in the door. He's fucking super funny, but he had to play in to what they wanted him to in order to get in there. So it's about playing the game. The fact is, do we still have to play the game in order to get fair treatment? Or did the Black Lives Matter and them killing black people open up to say, hey, look, if cops are shooting innocent black people out here and killing innocent black men out here, can we actually believe that black people in the music industry, black people in the media, in the acting, and all these other genres, are they getting fair and equal treatment? They're not. And we have to put out things like Oscars So White in order for people to understand that black people are not getting a voice. That is a problem. And that's really where it falls down to. It was funny because a girl posted that up like it's counsel culture, like, I'm gonna get this guy counsel because he's seen we need to book black people. And then she jumped on her. I book black people. What are you talking about, you stupid black guy? Huh? Let me get my sage. I smell that. Her stinky ass stinks. Will we ever get AAA? What?
One lady who got locked out a couple of times used all the lockout services.
So how much is it?
$90.
For what? On yours or on mine? No, it shouldn't be. Use mama's. Call and use mama's. Mama get use mama. Yeah, just use my mama's. Call my mom and get her AAA card and just use it.
She needs to be presidential.
Oh shit. Just call and tell them, and we'll add it on her. So I mean, this is the thing that I don't understand. And I locked my keys in my car because I was gonna do my podcast. I was gonna do a second episode of my podcast in my car, and then I accidentally locked the door. I was like, and locked my keys in the car. So trying to call AAA. But I want y'all to understand, man, and I really want people to understand, man. This shouldn't be an argument. This really shouldn't be an argument. This shouldn't be something that is. This is like y'all heard talking about voting for Trump and Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Shouldn't be that fucking difficult. This is a prime simple question. Why do some fucking bookers, don't book black people? That's all it is. Very simple question. If you don't understand some, get your fucking ass back in school. Go talk to your. Hey, I'm a C student. If I understand some, your dumb ass can understand some too. So understand that some of y'all are talking about shit that is making y'all really show y'all true colors. You don't have to defend your booking black people. If you have to jump on here and defend booking black people, you're booking black people just to say you're booking black people. Don't do that. This is a very simple thing. Give everybody a voice. And she was on there like, oh, are you funny? How long you been doing comedy? Are you fucking crazy, woman? Are you crazy? See, and then a white dude jumped on her, was like, told me to shut up. He's talking to a white woman. I was like, look at this shit right here. Look at this. Man, look at this. Get my wig. Where my wig at? Hey, where my Jerry curl at? Jay, can you get my Jerry curl wig out my skit thing? Hold on, let me get my Jerry curl wig. Yeah. All right. Let me tell you, man. All right. Wig on. Just so people can understand what I was talking about, What I'm talking about is the presence that a black dude got to wear his hair out like this in order for y'all to see him as comfortable. He got to put his hair out like this and be like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Hey, I like squirrels. I like marbles. I like this. And y'all not going to book a dude that's like, yeah, what's up, man? Let me get in here. Even though those two comics are clean comics, you want to see this. Hey, all right, yeah, let me, yeah, I'll go up. Yeah, sure. All right. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Nigga, don't nobody talk like that, bruh. Don't nobody talk like that. That's a pretend, especially when it's a brother. We don't talk like that. We know we don't talk like that. And y'all know we don't talk like that. They talk like that. That's no different than that slave mentality. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Yes, this. Yes, that. Y'all don't want black people in their own organic form. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want to mold them. Y'all want to shift them. Don't do that. Hey, put your hair out. All right. How we doing? All right. Are we here? All right. We here? We're right. All right. Hey, can I get some water, please? Just a cup of water. Throw me a water bottle, please. Julie, hey, can I get a water bottle, please? Thank you. All right. All right. So I was on here talking about, thank you. Hey, all right. Thank you. So I was on here talking about, I seen that guy André talking about why black people don't get booked, right? And I'm like, I get booked. I smile. Yeah. All right. Have you heard the joke about the peanuts? All right. So there's some peanuts, right? That'd be funny. So there's some peanut butter, right? There's some peanut butter, right? All right. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Mark? How you doing, Juan? Hey, all right. Yeah, all right. Hey, excuse me. Don't nobody want to act like that, bro. Don't nobody want to do that. Ain't nobody playing that game. I get the point, you man. Agree. However, I don't think black people are people like naturally. Hey, you know, son, Alexis. No, they don't. And this is what I mean. Most people, mama and daddy. I remember watching if y'all ever watched the movie Imitation of Life, right? So if y'all ever watched the movie Imitation of Life, anybody know about the movie Imitation of Life? It was a mammy, basically a dark black woman, who had a fair-skinned daughter. She had two daughters, and she had one daughter that was white. She was like so light-skinned that she didn't want to identify with her mom. She really disconnected herself from her black roots, and her mom is like, why would you do that? You know, why are you doing that? You know, and she really actually act like she didn't know her mom. If y'all go back, and a lot of y'all kids, a lot of y'all youngsters have not ever watched The Imitation of Life because you don't want to watch that kind of stuff, or you won't even try it. But her own mama was saying, who the fuck are you? I didn't raise you that way. That is not you. We are African people. We are African people. It does not matter what you do. You cannot get that out your system. You cannot get that out your blood. You can go talk to your mama and go talk to your fucking daddy and understand the fucking person you are. We know this. So if you walk around and pretend to be somebody you not, all we fucking have to do is go talk to your mama, go talk to your daddy, and we will figure out who you are. Now, if your mom be like, hey, how you doing? And your father talk, hey, how we doing, sir? If he talks like that, then most likely you're going to act like that because you are a replica of your parents. You are a replica and a descendant of the people who raised you. And that is a very, very simple explanation. Now, if you act a total different way, it's because you chose to act that fucking way. You chose to change your voice. You chose to change that. That's no different than seeing a daughter and a mama that look alike. You don't fucking think they talk alike? and act alike and think alike, that is your mama. That is your daddy. That's how we are. Most of us, most black people migrated from the fucking South. We migrated from the Midwest. If your bloodline, if you check your bloodline, you came from Africa, you came from Virginia, you came from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee. Slaves came from that area. And when they escaped, they migrated towards the West Coast. Once they got to Texas and out of Texas, Arizona, California, that's where the free slaves were. That's where the free blacks was. In Kentucky, once people crossed the Mason-Dixon line and got over Ohio, got to Pennsylvania, that's how it was. But this is a difference. Now, I don't know if y'all understand this, and let me break this history down to you. My undergrad is in political science, history, education. I graduated from the University of Louisville with a 3.2 GPA. That's been my whole life, my whole history. I used to teach German history. I have an MBA in marketing. So when I go back and I look at it, and I look at sociology, I look at psychology, I look at philosophy, and I study people. I've been doing it my whole life. Just because I'm a comic don't mean I'm not a fucking smart person. I can act like a C student when I need to. Everybody doesn't deserve education. Everybody doesn't deserve, you can talk to people regular. And that's the point. That's what this has to identify to. I'm not putting on my suit tie, going in here signing $1 million deal. I'm talking about being your own form, being who you are. So a lot of y'all that act like, oh, well, people were this way and people that, nah, go talk to your mama. And when I meet y'all mama, and when I meet y'all daddies, and I meet y'all grandmamas and y'all uncles, we see who y'all are. You can run from your people. You can run from the kind of person you are, but a lot of people understand that's the fakeness. That's the problem. Black people used to act a certain way in order to be accepted in a certain community. Because you got to remember, black people were not really free to do what the fuck they want to until 1967, 1970. The 70s, black people were still restricted from going to certain areas. So when black people went to white areas, they had to act white. They had to fit in. You had to talk down. You couldn't look up to a white person. You couldn't talk with a tone. You couldn't talk with bass in your voice. You couldn't talk with that because they were hung. They were killed, they were murdered, they were tortured, and a lot of people don't understand the history and the legacy of what happened to black people in this country. So y'all can sit up there and pretend and act like y'all don't understand what a brother's speaking to you. But a lot of y'all that's sitting there walking around acting like pretending like you something that you're not. The only reason why you did that or had to do that back in the days is to fit in, to be able to work in a white business, to be able to go to a white school, to be able to do that, you had to act like them. You had to act the part. You couldn't act like where you from. People would go to work and act this way and go home and act a certain way. So you telling me if you don't go to work and act a certain way and go home and act a certain way, that's an example of you not being who you are. Be the fuck who you are. Hire the people who they are. Don't make them pretend. Don't make them have to fall into your games to play on your stage. They're just as funny. They're going to bring the money. That's like Jay-Z. That's like DMX. That's like those people. They are money. They want us in our own regular form when it comes to music. They want us in a raw form when it comes to depicting ourselves and talking about killing each other and murdering and drugs and all that shit. But let somebody talk with some sense. Let somebody get up there and say, hey, y'all getting their money over here. Why won't y'all let them get the money on this side? Why? Because the white dollars, the white money. You know what I'm saying? The white dollars. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. There's no way. The funniest fucking comic on this earth is Dave Chappelle. Dave fucking Chappelle. But you know the only reason why Dave Chappelle is now accepted like that? Because he clicked on to the white community. And he came through and black community jumped on him when he got on the Chappelle show. Dave Chappelle never really had black fans. I always been a black, literally I always loved comedy. So I don't care who you are. As a comic, if I like you, I like you. But if you follow Dave Chappelle, if you ever follow Dave Chappelle, you know the first Dave Chappelle, and it's not about being seasoned. It's not about that, because you can look at Chris Rock and see organic and where he at now. It's like that switch. Y'all don't see that switch? Y'all don't see how Dave Chappelle is now acting like Chris Rock did when he first started, and Chris Rock is now acting like Dave Chappelle? Why? Because one's darker, and they call Chris Rock the angry black man his whole fucking life. He's always been considered angry black man. We just consider him a regular black man. That's him. He's talking, that's him. But he had to fit into y'all in order to be acceptable. Even though he was like, hey man, I'm playing this game. Because if you want to look at it, look at his little brother. Look at Tony Rock. Tony Rock is just as funny as Chris Rock, but he is a black comic. And he stayed on the same side as Chris, and that's where it's went at. So that's what I'm talking about, young lady. If you don't understand, you have to do your history on it. And you know, and I think a lot of people who end up being like biracial and having those kind of identity crises, that is an example of what goes on. Matter of fact, look at Meghan Markle. Look at what happened. Look at what happened with Meghan Markle, man. Look at it. Paul Mooney said this about 4 or 5 years ago. He said, bruh, they gonna find out that she a black woman and she really black and she gotta fucking go. And what started coming out, they were saying Meghan Markle is hard to get along with. She's hard to do this. She's angry black woman. That's what they said about, come on, man. This woman married a prince. How's it that Katie married a white prince and she's still there? And then you get Megan that comes in and all of a sudden they get kicked out the fucking kingdom? Is that not a prime example? Is that not a prime example that one is accepted and the other one's not accepted? Why is it? There's nothing about Megan that made you be like, man, there's nothing wrong with this girl. Nothing wrong with this girl. How is it that this black woman married a prince and she already kicked out the... No, mate, Alexa, I'm not saying that you're biracial. What I'm saying is that people that identify that way are people that are biracial. So I'm jumping saying all black people aren't going to act the same. No, it's not about that all black people acting the same. All black people have soul. All black people have rhythm. That's natural. You can't do anything with that. We are genetic that way. We are the original man. We all have all our talent is into one person. We faster, we run, we jump higher, we move better, our bodies are tighter. We can do what nobody else can do. That's why this country wouldn't be built without black men, because there's no other people that can have done what black people done in this country. So that's why the black slaves were so important in the black community. So when you're looking at that, and you look at the fact when you're saying, okay, now in this country, we're still dividing. Let's give another example. I'll give y'all another example. Look at Oprah. Oprah had to identify as a white woman. She looked up to Barbara Walters. Cat Williams called it out on it. And she said, hey, he said, hey, look at you. You spent your whole fucking life acting like this. Till you do right by me, nigga. Y'all remember Cat Williams saying that about Oprah? Why did he say that about Oprah? Because she was trying to be a white woman. Now look at Oprah. Now ain't she black again? Did y'all see Oprah cooking pig feet and shit? Like, goddamn, Oprah, you weren't cooking pig feet and green beans and you going to black churches, you in there like, hey. Oprah wasn't doing that shit when she was on TV. Oprah was doing none of that when she was having the Oprah show. There was no black nothing really on the Oprah show, except for her fake black ass. Now look at Oprah. She hooked up with Tyler Perry. She up her swagging. She dancing. Come on, man. If y'all don't understand the game, if y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, man, y'all behind. Y'all so behind. Y'all can't be out here protesting, marching, talking about Black Lives Matter if you don't understand that all black voices are the fucking same. You can't say all black voices aren't the same. They are the same. They are the same. They are the same. That's what it's about. It's all the same. We may come out a different way, but our voice is the same. That's what it's about. It's the roots. It's the foundation of what a black person is. The foundation of a black comic. It don't matter what you talking about, Alexis. You got your way. You got your style, and it's not gonna come out the same way every other girl that you grew up with came out. It's gonna come out a nicer or a certain kind of way. There's a twang on it. There's a twist on it. There's a spin on it. That's what we do. That's how we are. That's how we are. It's natural. It is organically. And a lot of people don't understand that. So when you see people talking and pretending and acting and like that, like, nigga, I read through that shit. And a lot of people see through that bullshit. You can sit there and pretend to act like they want to accept you, but they will never accept you as the person you are until you be the person you are. Be who you are. That's all it is. But also, at the same time, y'all are doing these shows where they're not putting y'all counterparts on the shows that are just as raw as those white comics, as those gay and trans comics that speak like them. And this is what I mean. You can hear, when I do shows, and normally I'm like one of the only black comics, probably the only black comic on the show. White people are so nasty, so dirty. I'm like, why don't y'all put black people that are just the same as dirty as them on the show? Why don't they get booked on the show? If you got a white girl up there talking about her ass, her pussy, and this, why not put a black girl up there just talking about her ass and pussy and this and this? No, why? Because she's more provocative, right? They're gonna say she's more provocative. That's just a white woman expressing herself. But when a black woman does it, oh, she angry black woman. Oh, she too provocative. Oh, you too nasty. Oh, it's just the way she talk about it. No, because that's us. That's what we do. That's how we are. It's just gonna sound different. It's gonna have a swerve to it. Nigga, you gotta remember, we are the wave. We are always the wave. Let's get more. Hold on, man. I can't see what you're saying, man. Hold on. But your first post had me like, oh, you're speaking fact. Hey, no, you know something, Alexis, what it is that people read the word. It says, why don't some bookers book black comics? Some bookers. So if they book black people, I don't give a fuck what black people they book. I don't care if you book the whitest black comic you can. You're booking black comics. But what I'm saying is, why not go a step farther? Why not go a step farther and get those DC young flies in those Carlos Beans? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you get the 85 South Boys on a regular white show and see what the fuck happened? Right? That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about this old string bean, new Negro, fake ass black comics. I'm talking about those DC young flies, those Carlos Mirrors, those black comics that ain't afraid to jump up and say, man, fuck you motherfuckers. What? And do that. I am a clean comic on stage. I don't cuss on stage. I don't do none of that on stage because I don't need to. I'm funnier without cussing on stage. I don't need it. I it's like this. I'm around everybody. And I'm always going to be around everybody. I've always been a manager. Always been that high level guy. I always did that. So I always had to go into boardrooms and talk and stuff like this. So I like corporate comedy. I like regular comedy, but I can do any room. If I want to be dirty, if I ever think about being dirty on stage, I think about it, I consider it. But I'm not doing that on stage. I can do it off stage and be fun and have fun and do this. But when I tell jokes, I'm telling it to my mama, my aunties, my cousins. That's why I don't cuss. So people cuss because it's a crutch. They cuss because it's an action word. Look at it like this. A lot of y'all go ahead and start doing y'all sets with no cuss words, no sexual content, none of that shit in there, and see how funny you are, right? So if you can do that, if you can openly do that, if you can openly say, hey, man, I'll do that. No sexual content, no, nothing. Just straight PC comedy. A lot of y'all like, that old bullshit out of here, man. Comedy's comedy. I don't give a fuck what it is. Comedy's comedy. Funny. What it is. Funny is funny. That's where we need to be at. Funny is funny. But y'all don't do that. Y'all exclude a lot of black people out because a lot of them are funnier than a lot of the white comics, and y'all fucking know that. And they won't give them the chance. They will never give a lot of black comics the chance to be on the fucking walls and to be on the boards that they give to these fake ass, no funny white comics. They don't. They're not gonna give it. And I love a lot of my white comics that are funny. If they unfunny, I don't give a shit about them. But my funny white comics, they do every room. They go to every single room. And they the same people to speak out about this bullshit like, hey man, and you gotta remember, I do every room. I do every room. I do every club because I identify to any crowd. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you my story. I'm not telling your story. I'm telling you, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from the hood. My mom was on drugs. I'm gonna tell you about my story, about my life and what I went through. I'm not telling you your own joke. I'm not gonna tell you about your life and about what your mama did. I'm gonna tell you how my mama acted. I'm gonna tell you how my mama did, how my daddy did, how my brothers, how my kids, the jobs I lived through. My eyes. I can't tell y'all, I can't give y'all comedy through my eyes if I can't be myself. That's what it falls down to. That's where it really falls down to. A lot of y'all don't understand the fact of what is organic and what is natural and what is welcoming. Y'all want to bring these non-funny ass comics and skip them over than the comics that actually will bring in the dollars, actually bring in the voice. It's nothing worse than going to a comedy show, paying money to see a bunch of unfunny ass comics. It's the worst thing in the world. And most of y'all that get booked are only getting booked because you're white. You're only getting booked because you're pretending to act white. A lot of y'all aren't fucking super funny, and y'all know that. Y'all know that, and you know, it's okay. It's okay that a lot of y'all are not super funny. A lot of y'all play to y'all audience. Do what you do. But if you think you fucking funny, if you think you can do that, go do your same jokes. Take your same jokes and go to all black comedy room. And I'm talking about not just a go to your black comedy room. Take your ass on a Def Comedy Jam kind of room. The only people that can do stuff like that, Darren Carter, Bill Burr, John, Honest John, those white comics that did that, they were able to do that. Take Jerry Seinfeld, put his ass on Def Comedy Jam, they gonna boo him the fuck off. Put Jerry Seinfeld at the Apollo, he gonna get booed the fuck off. And y'all know that. But you take Bernie Mac and you put him in a white room, he gonna murder it. You put him in a black room, he gonna murder it. You put him in an Asian room, he gonna murder it. You put him in an Indian room, he gonna murder it. That is what you call universal. That's what it's about, yo. So if y'all not understand this, y'all ain't ready to talk yet. So y'all come back when y'all do y'all research, man. See Student Podcast, man. I'm done with y'all. All right, see y'all tomorrow on my y'all know what it is. Bye. Boom. Man, this goddamn thing won't cut off.